Hello everyone, it's Kurt here from England to Finland. I recently visited Ruka, which is in the north of Finland, and while I was there I did a bit of hiking and I witnessed the change in the season. That's where the trees change their leaf colour, go from the normal green over to the browns, yellows and reds. And they do that more or less all at the same time, so it's an incredible thing to witness. So while we was travelling up to Ruka on the journey there, as we was driving we seen a strange sight on the side of the road. And it turned out to be an art exhibit called The Silent People. It was quite an interesting sight to see, although it did give me some nightmares. The intent of the trip was for me to see the change in the colour, and that's when the trees' leaves change from green to yellow to brown to red. We stayed quite close to the centre of Ruka in a wooden ski cabin. This is a typical cabin size for the area, and it has everything that you need to use as your holiday home away from home. And of course it's got an amazing sauna and we use this every single night. Ruka is one of Finland's most popular ski resorts, and when there isn't any snow on the ground, the area is great for hiking in the surrounding pristine nature, and they've got rivers and wild woodland. I saw quite a few reindeers on the car journey on the way there, but this was the first time that I'd seen them up close and personal, and they was right next to where we were staying. The first significant hike we did was the Pyhän Jyssäys, and that's 6 kilometers long, and I would describe that as a good warm-up hike. My activity tracker watch counted 754 foot of elevation change, 9,680 steps, and a total time of 2 hours and 7 minutes, and that was taking it quite easily, stopping to take in the view and relaxing. When we got to the summit we were greeted with an amazing view. These are the best clouds that Ruka has to offer. And there's quite a few bathrooms on the various routes all around Ruka, and there's these wood storage huts as well, and they've got wood inside them, and you can just use that in the fire pit. You can use that to warm yourself up or to cook your food. Even though the view was pretty restricted, it was amazing being inside the clouds and you could just see them at eye level rolling by. There's also lots and lots of lakes, and the water in this one that we found was so clear that you could see right to the bottom of it. And that's just while standing on the dock at the side of it. But if you do go down onto the docks, make sure that you're careful because the wood on this one was very slippy. I did fall over. On the main routes mostly the wood's okay on that, but if you go down to the docks, yeah, just make sure that you're not falling over. The next adventure that we had was exploring the Ruka Slopes, and they're used for winter sports in the winter, and they're filled with hill walkers and hikers at other times. The slopes are also a hotspot for more reindeer. They seem pretty familiar with people and they don't seem to be too bothered if you get up quite close and get some pictures with them. And some of them even like striking a pose. It was very interesting seeing the slopes without the snow in them and thinking in just a few more weeks that they'll have people skiing down them. Ruka also has a ski jumping hill, and it regularly hosts the Ski Jumping World Cup. The scale of it's pretty perplexing when you're up close. It's so huge and it must be so interesting watching people jumping from it. The hill record is 150 metres, and that was set in 2022, and that was by a person called Halvor Egan Granrud, and he is from Norway. Sorry about the pronunciation of that name. The slopes also have a disc golf course, and it's free to use, you just have to set your own discs. The main hike that we did was the Pieni Karhunkierros, and that loosely translates to the small bear route. The route is 12 kilometers of well-travelled trail, and it's been described as Finland's most popular hiking trail. The trail is focused around the river and it has a few suspension bridge crossings. The bridges feel safe and they don't really bounce too much, but the dog was a little uneasy crossing it. Around a lot of the route you can see the river and the rapids because you're a little bit higher up on the side of the cliffs and you can look down into the valley. The route is marked very, very well, and at almost every point you can see on the next tree or the next second tree where you're supposed to be going just by looking at the paint colour on it. So it's got the different route colours and you just follow the one that you've chosen to do. There are many beautiful spots to stop and take in while you're going around the route, and this was one of my favourites. The combination of the change of the colour and the waterfall and just the natural beauty just made it even that little bit more spectacular. And this was another one of the wood huts, and it has a fire pit outside. There's quite a few of these around the trail, and we saw quite a few groups sitting around enjoying them, cooking the food and then having a few beers as well. All in all, really enjoyed Ruka. I'd recommend it to anyone to visit. I'm going to try and get back in the winter and have a look how different it is there with snow around as well.